Hi there and welcome to another session of Accountancy for the 11th standard with me, Vishwanath sir. We are in the process of revision and we are at the chapter of Introduction to Accounting. We last went through the accounting systems where we found the accounting systems was divided into two halves. That is the double entry system and the single entry system. But the proven accounting which is correct is the double entry system, and the double entry system helps in checks arithmetic accuracy and makes us sure that we are in the right path. So for every debit we discussed, there is a corresponding credit which we have to inculcate and put it into the books of accounts. Let's take for example, I go to purchase some goods. When I go to purchase some goods, okay, it is very clear two transactions are taking place. One is the money from my pocket is going to go out and something whichever I buy will come in. Okay, so this is a very important aspect, that whenever I am spending something, I am going to get something in return and something is going to go out from my pocket. Okay, so this is your accounting system which we follow. On the reverse scenario, if I sell something, money will come inside and the goods which I sold will be going out. Okay, it is a sort of an income for me. Even the expenses, your nominal accounts, your expenses and your incomes, even that have a certain criteria. For example, if I pay rent, money is going out, but I am getting to utilize the space which I have borrowed from somebody else. As a result, in return of this, I am paying a remuneration which is known as rent. The reverse scenario can happen if we give our place on rent to someone. What will happen? Our space will be occupied by someone else, and in return we shall be getting rent. Okay, so this is something, this dual aspect will always be there in your accounting systems, and what we follow so far is a double entry system. It is a proven system. It cannot go wrong. If there is any mistakes, it can be easily located, and this is what we did last time. But let me just repeat, the last time what we did was the features of the double entry system. That is, it is a complete record. It records everything and each and every transaction. It's got a twofold effect of every transaction. In the system, one aspect is debited, the other is credited. Your debits have to be equal to your credits, because we form at the end, after we finish with the journal, we transfer it to the ledger, from the ledger to the trial balance, and the trial balance will make us sure that every debit has to be equal to the credit, otherwise we cannot proceed. Because after the trial balance, what we are going to do is we are going to prepare the final accounts. Okay, so let us see the stages of double entry system. A complete system of double entry bookkeeping has three stages. First is the recording transactions in journal. Journal is the main book. Every transaction has to be recorded in the books of the journal. Okay, everything, whether it is of 10 rupees, 1 rupee, 1000, 1 crore, 10 lakhs, all the accounting records have to be put in the journal. Okay, so it records all the transaction. So this is useful to us, because whenever we have to refer anything, it becomes easier for us. Okay, after we put the transactions, we classify the transaction in the journal by posting them to an appropriate ledger account, and when we post it to the appropriate ledger account, we get individual balances. Say for example, I have a list of debtors. Debtors are basically the people from whom to whom we sell goods, and we have to receive money from them. So if I made a separate account of different debtors, it becomes better for me, because I know how much they owe me. Okay, and in return, if I made an account of different creditors, creditors are the people whom we owe money, because we have purchased goods on credit from them. Okay, so each and every transaction is going to be recorded from the journal to the ledger, and the ledger simplifies it further by providing us the individual balances at the end of the year, from which we prepare the trial balance. Okay, and the trial balance is a link to the final accounts because it will ensure us your accounts is right. Okay, so from this they are going to prepare the trial balance. Trial balance is basically the list of the debit balances and the credit balances, and that we can make out or we can help when we are balancing a particular account. Okay, then we close all the books and we prepare the final accounts from the trial balance. Of course, there are a few adjustments, but all those adjustments also have got two effects. Okay, so this completes the stage of discussing the double entry system, that is recording, classifying, and then preparing your final accounts. Okay, so this is important. Now let us see what is the advantages of the double entry system. First, it is a scientific system. Okay, so all the business transactions which are there in the books, in the bookkeeping, okay, it helps attain the objectives of accounting. Everything is very accurate. Of course, we on our part could make an error of putting a 0 less or a 2 here or 3 there. Instead of writing 320, we can write 230. Instead of writing 500, we can write 50. Instead of writing 500, we can write 5000. So these are human errors. But the system which it works is a very scientific system, and it will start locating your errors. That is your first advantage. The second advantage is that it has a complete record of transactions. Okay, every possible transaction is entered. Of course, economic transaction. So it always shows us a correct income, correct loss, what are our assets and what are our liabilities. So this is something very useful. Besides that, there is arithmetic accuracy of accounts is ensured, and by this system the accounting can be established through the trial balance. Okay, it can be established through the trial balance, and we can also determine the next position, the profit or the loss. That is the most imperative thing which we need to know. That is the most important thing which we need to know, whether we are making profits or whether we are making losses. Okay, so the profit earned during a period can be determined by the profit and loss account. Also, we can get the knowledge of the financial position. Where are we placed? Okay, are we doing well? Do we need to improve? Do we need to change the line of business? So we know the financial position very well. We know what are our results. We know what decisions we can take in the future. We know how much stocks to maintain. Okay, so this determines the profit and loss, and it also gives us the knowledge of the financial position. Other thing it also gives us is full details for the purpose of control. Okay, every possible detail is there. So if there's anything which is not done properly, it can be verified by different sources. Okay, so the full details for the purpose of control is given. Okay, then comparative study is also possible, because we can compare one particular year to another particular year. We can compare one firm to another firm. We can compare one quarter to another quarter in terms of results, and this helps us plan our things, that how well should we do in the next quarter, how well should we do in the next year, and what are the things we are lacking in, and why have we made less profits. Okay, then also it helps the management in taking decisions, because decisions are very important and good information is derived, and they can they can take the decision making very easily. Also, it helps to detect the frauds and misappropriation, because anything going haywire can be detected, and we have material evidence for each and every transaction. So anything which is not there will be considered to be a fraud. Okay, so these are the advantages of a double entry system. It is systematic, it gives a complete record of all the transactions, there is arithmetic accuracy, it determines the profit and loss, it also, we come to know the financial position, we also know the purposes of control, comparative study is possible, it helps the management in decision making, and it also detects frauds and misappropriations. Okay, Then we come to a final conclusion about a single entry system. Now this is basically a very rough accounting system where only cash transactions are maintained and who owes money and to whom we owe money. So this, if you want the proper accounting systems for this, we have to convert it into the double entry system and do our accounts right. Okay, that's all for this chapter with the revision part of it. Thank you so much. This is Vishwanath sir signing off.